sounds like you know a lot about wine. I'm really curious how you really got like engaged with wine. I know that you grew up in Surrey.
Yep. Was
wine round the family table growing up?
Yeah, so look, where I'm at now, I work for Finex Fine Wine Investments, and with that, I've been very fortunate to do my WSET Level 2, and that has educated me so much, because before, look, we've all done wine tastings with our friends where you do at the end of the day, you drink too much, you don't really listen to what they're saying, do you?
Yeah.
Whereas doing that, it was kind of 1 hour every week. So Monday night, I'd sit down with a couple of glasses of wine, and also you're pairing up with stuff. So it would say, okay, this week you need to go get Monster Munch crisps or a bit of cheese.
What did you pair with Monster Munch crisps?
I can't really remember, but it was something to do with a pickle. And it was weird. Again, it's those kind of weird fittings.
And it's taking out those flavors and making sure that they bring out the right elements in the wine.
Yeah, exactly. And you listen to these amazing chefs and you go to these funky restaurants and they're pairing all these kind of stuff. You think that's never going to work, but it does. And it actually really educated me and it was brilliant. And as a youngster was I massively into wine? Not particularly. Like my family would have it a little bit on holiday. And then in honesty, being a professional athlete, we didn't drink too much. We would go out and have kind of big nights every now and then, but you're probably only drinking once kind of every 6 weeks or so. But now the sport's almost turned that you see a player like a LeBron James or a David Beckham and these type of people, and people aren't going out for those big kind of beer binging sessions anymore. They're celebrating with a bottle of Moscato or a Lafite or something like that.
Or some Californian Cabernet.
Yeah, exactly.
LeBron loves that.
From Napa and all that. And they're kind of really celebrating that. And it's made wine less snobby and cool in a way, and kind of got into a different audience, a younger audience. And now I think just drink what you enjoy. And that's what's taught me. There's nothing more intimidating. You get a wine list. And because I work in wine now, if I go out for dinner with my friends, they give me the wine list. And even though I'm in it and I know a little bit, I'm looking at this menu thinking, okay, also, don't want to get the cheapest one. You don't want to get the expensive. You kind of get, and you kind of roughly what you like. And then you hope it's a good one.
It can be a minefield.
It can be, and it can be quite intimidating. And
it's meant to be fun.
And it's supposed to be fun. And if people are trying to impress each other on dates or all that kind of stuff, just what you enjoy, do it, but also try stuff. I love going and trying stuff from different countries now or different regions or something I've never heard.
What surprised you most recently from like either a different country or different region?
You know what I had? We went out for a dinner relatively recent. I had a skin...
skin contact?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wine on the skin.
Yeah, so was it orangey?
Yeah, it was orangey. And I'd never seen it before, never had it. And again, I just wanted to try it, but I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of it. I didn't particularly like it, and I wouldn't order it again, to be honest. But I tried it, and at least I know that.
Well, that's the main thing. And I think also, particularly, we've had a couple of orange wines on the podcast. I think it's also the food you serve it with and the context. And some are funkier than others.
Yes.
And if you're not expecting it and you're just like wanting to chill, sometimes, they're not the most chilled.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, we went to a nice hotel bar with a good menu, and I thought, you know what, why not try one of these? And it was. Look, I'm glad I tried it, but would I do it again? Probably not.
But but it's all about just like being curious.
Yeah, exactly, and experimenting. And look, and honestly, I wouldn't really drink at home. Myself and Camilla wouldn't really drink.
I was going to say, how do you enjoy wine with Camilla? Like, would you rather have wine and food at home where you guys would cook, or would there be a restaurant you like to go to which has a good wine list?
So I think if we were to have wine, it would be at a nice restaurant. That's where it's like a special occasion. It's the food. It's getting dressed up. It's that kind of being special and unique. Would I go to the pub and have a glass of wine? Probably not. I would probably have a beer and Camilla would have an Aperol or something along those type of lines. But if we went, I don't know, in central London, a nice restaurant, an occasion, then we would, get a nice bottle of wine or a couple of different glasses and share and mix and match and all that kind of stuff. And that's probably what I enjoy more. It's more the romance around it, or if you're on holiday and the sun's shining and
eating and drinking local.
Or if it's in England and the sun's out and rosé comes out. And it's a very different kind of vibe completely. But yeah, definitely the occasion.
Would you say, because I was listening to one of your podcasts and you mentioned like a really memorable meal. I think it was at Claridge's. Mm-hmm. Would that have been one of your most like kind of memorable wine and food experiences?
Yeah, well, we actually were very fortunate. We got married at Chelsea Town Hall, and then we went to Gordon Ramsay's on Hospital Road, a 3-Michelin star restaurant to celebrate with our family. Fun. And it was amazing and very, very kind. I know Gordon a little bit, and he gave us a bottle of DP from Parent. Yeah, and that's it was
nice.
The most beautiful champagne I've ever had, and it was we still got it actually at home. Still in our kind of mantelpiece and stuff like that. So it's very special to us. And that was unique. Yeah, I love good champagne. And I've been lucky enough, like I said, Bollinger sponsored England, so I've been lucky enough to go to their...
I've worked for them for that as well. That was the first champagne house I worked with. They've indoctrinated. It's amazing.
And actually, when people say champagne is expensive, and it is expensive, but you see the work they put into it and the riddlers, how to turn it and all that kind of stuff.
And particularly with Bollinger, who ages everything in oak, it's not, they go up and beyond the aging process and the regulations.
And that's the beautiful thing about wine, that you can kind of go all in and you can invest in it. And with Vinex, I've been very lucky to go down.
Tell me about Vinex. So how did that happen? What did they do?
Yeah, so look, we're an investment platform. We're a broker in terms of that. And we invest in wine from Bordeaux, Burgundy, Champagne, Californian, Tuscans, a little bit Australian. But with that as well, we do a lot of kind of filming abroad. So I've been very lucky. And in my first year, I went to Bordeaux three times on Premier. I went to some amazing houses. I went to Lafite, the Moutons, Cheval Blancs, the Pavis, to do some filming down there. And they were just amazing. And little things like you can film in certain areas. And then we went to Mouton. And Mouton, every label is designed by a different artist. And in there, they've got a private museum.
So you can see all of the labels?
You see all the labels and also their private collection of art. You can't take any photos in there. You can't film anything in there. And you can look around it and seeing stuff like that. And then we went to Lafite. And Lafite is amazing. I don't know if you've been there. And I went to a lot of barrel rooms. And you must have been to barrel rooms. Yeah. Barrel rooms have a distinct smell, which you can't describe. But it only smells like that in a barrel room, and it's amazing. It really hits you.
It's so comforting, I find that smell.
And then you do the tour and they take you underground and they take you to their barrel room. And it's like a theatre where they actually have concerts under there and they sing to the wine. It's almost like a Colosseum type of feel with pillars in there, the barrels around. And then that's absolutely incredible. And then you go to Italy. I went to Italy as well. We did a little bit of filming down there about a month ago. And we went down to Ornelara and Massetto.
Oh, cash.
And it's, exactly. The super Tuscans. And,
amazing.
And they're so proud of what they've done. And obviously the sun shines down there and you see Ornelara and you think it's amazing. And their wine library is incredible. And then they take you to Massetto. And Massetto it was like a James Bond villain building. You kind of go underground. The barrel room's very impressive. And then they take you to the library. And the library is a secret door.
No.
So you walk, you wouldn't know, and then there's one brick, well, the person puts a hand over and then it opens. And it's almost like one of those old bank vaults. You used to see in old films where they used to get robbed all the time. It's almost like one of them scattered around, and it's it's incredible. So I've
and also Massetto kind of, I think, makes people realize that Merlot is not a boring grape. I think after Sideways, people kind of really hated on Merlot, but that's impressive. But also I just love how several of the wineries you mentioned, again, they're like you, they cross-pollinate things. They mix wine with music, wine and art, and it'll tie in nicely to the wines, which I serve slightly later. But I was going to say, what has been like your biggest takeaway from all your wine experience and from having worked with Vinex the last couple of years?
I think it makes me want to live in the south of France or in Italy. No, but in all seriousness, I think wine doesn't have to be snobby. And I think just enjoy it. Be brave, try things. If you don't like it, just say you don't like it. And there's nothing worse than that. We'll try and taste them and we'll think, my palate, I must admit, isn't particularly good. But you try things. We did a tasting at work once, and we do a tasting kind of once a month, just a new bottle comes in, and we taste it. And I'm a level 2. And
which is great.
Thank you. Yeah, we had a guy, I think he was level 5. And most of us are smelling it thinking, there's a bit of berries and some generic stuff. And then there was a guy who was like, I think I smell roasted Brussels sprouts. And me and the other guys were like, what? But again, it's just
very
enjoying.
Personal and subjective it's those
personal
things.
And everyone has their own history. There's romance to do it. Like I said, certain bottles will mean a lot to me because of weddings, because I had it on our first holiday away. Or
what did you have at
company.
So obviously you got the Dom Perignon.
Yep.
And then what would be a special bottle which you would have either at celebrations or like, do you and Camilla have like any go-to wines?
I mean, I actually really like English sparkling at the moment.
Yes.
We actually had Night Timber at one of our events.
Brilliant choice.
And love Night Timber. I think English sparkling now, especially unfortunately with climate change and all that, the grapes getting better, richer. So many of those kind of French houses are actually getting involved with the English side of things. And they are great as well. So yes, it's amazing going down there, but there are so many good vineyards, especially in that kind of southeast of England. There's a lot going on.
Essex is great too because it's very dry, which I think with all this rain, have you had any Pinot Noir from Essex?
I haven't.
Oh, that should be on your next hit list.
I'll do that.
Yeah. I'll give you notes afterwards.
But actually, a good friend of mine loves his California wine, and he just gave me a bottle of Stag's Leap, which I've never tried.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, that's great. And really amazing to visit too.
Exactly. So I think once Camilla has given birth and she's recovered, we'll celebrate at home, good meal, and maybe that. But I mean, and with everything, I love I've got another good friend who's a big winey as well, and go to his house and likes to get his wine out. And the first thing I do when he gets out, I get Vivino up.
I was going to ask.
To keep him honest.
Yeah. I was going to ask if you used any apps and that kind of thing. Yeah,
definitely. I always use the apps because they give you a good guideline, and also it remembers what you drunk. So it's got a good thing. And even when we're going to these amazing houses, like when we went to Lafitte, we had a 1985 bottle and all this kind of stuff. And I was quickly getting a quick photo of them to Vivino it and see kind of where they're rated and what they are out of 5 and what percentage in the world and all that kind of stuff. And it's just, again, it just helps educate you. Again, it gives you a little bit more knowledge, I think.
Totally. And I think so much of it is also confidence because like you might like something, but like, as soon as you see it like endorsed or other people kind of echoing, you're like, oh yeah, I need to like back myself on this. You know, yeah, exactly.
And look, I'm very new to the journey. I've been with them now almost 2 years, but every month we do a different thing. We had a tasting yesterday as well.
What were you tasting yesterday?
Just kind of a mix of red, nothing too out there, nothing as good as these, unfortunately. But yeah, we do lots of those kind of tastings and stuff like that. So again, it's just trying to get your knowledge a bit more.
And practice. Yeah. Because actually everyone's like, oh, wine tasting, what a lot. But it's actually to train your palate to pick up things and to notice things and to remember. Tasting is very different to drinking.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I actually watched, have you seen The Bear?
I need to see The Bear. I'm like the last person to see The Bear.
It's amazing. And I was late to it. I've only just watched it.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
And it makes me OCD with wiping stuff now. It's almost very therapeutic, but it just makes my palate want to be better. And I want to know more just because of how perfect everything is. And this food's amazing. It's decorated brilliantly and beautifully, but you always want to do a little bit more and stuff. And now I'm sure that'll pass in about a month, but at the moment it's good.